Okay, so let's transition to sales. Okay, and I know you said we get done by noon. So give me, I'm not going to take a lot of time here because I want, again, we're emphasizing final expense. So we're trying to make this super simple, super easy. Okay, so I'm going to go to my sales system. And here's, I'm going to emphasize final expense sale made simple. Okay, right? So let me go through the PowerPoint. You can watch me do this, but half of this, maybe half is running leads. So let's take a look at the PowerPoint. So you guys see this? Okay.
Yeah, we can see it.
So I'm gonna cover, I covered in the video, but I'm just gonna go over this real quick because I'm gonna emphasize some things here. Um, benefits is final expense. You can write this anytime. It's easier to book appointments because your clients are going to be home day and evening. So some of you that are working shift work, this is a perfect type of client to sit down with. The options are simple. It's like, what can they afford to bury themselves? You get renewals on the application. If they renew it, you're going to get paid. So, you can build up a renewal base. And leads are easier for final expense than mortgage protection. Okay. Common mistakes with final expense clients, prejudging where they live. They may be in a trailer, but they still care about their families not wanting to pay for their funeral. Okay. So don't prejudge where they live. The other thing is confusing clients. You got to keep it simple for them. This policy is good till the day you die. So don't call it whole life. They don't know what that means. This policy is good till the day you die. Don't be their friend. Remember, like I said, don't overdo do the bond report, but you got to do it because you got to get them to trust you. But you don't have to spend 5 hours doing that. Okay. The other mistake is they just don't have enough leads to make a day effective. So you need enough leads to book these appointments. So this goes into lead management. So I'm going to bypass that part. Okay, so let's do business. Okay, let's help the client. Let's get you serving people so you can get paid and start getting your insurance career rolling. Okay, so you're going to be, when you're with the client, it's easier to feel and see and hear the client trusting you. They're going to leave breadcrumbs along the way that they like you and they trust you. You're going to feel that. You're going to get the sense. And this is where you have the advantage when you're with a client. So this is an important thing to tell them. Now, Joe and Mary, when people felt, and you can do this over the phone too. Okay, so you can't, it's not like you can't, but it's easier to find those trust triggers. Joe and Mary, when people fill out these forms and send them back to us, it's usually because one of three things. They either have no life insurance, they have some life insurance, but it's not enough insurance, or they want to leave some kind of legacy to their grandkids. Which one are you? So you're immediately trying to segment them into the need category. Do they have no life insurance? Do they have some? Do they need more? Do they want to leave something for their kids or grandkids? So this is where you're identifying the need. If they don't have a need, then you're leaving. Okay. This is where you really want to find out about it. Now, this is where you do pain finding. This is where you find out their need. Now, paint me a picture. You die tomorrow. Who has to pick up the pieces? Your daughter? But this is like if they're single, they're a widow or widower. So if you die, who has to pick up the pieces? Well, my daughter, Martha. Oh, so tell me about Martha. It's like, shut up. Get to know Martha, who they love. And then every time you refer to Martha, not their beneficiary. So tell me about Martha. How old is she? Oh, she's 34. Oh, does she have kids? Oh, yeah, 3 kids. Are those your only grandkids? Yeah. Martha's my child with kids. My son, what's your son's name? Steve. My son Steve. He's older. He's 40, and he lives like in China. So it'd be my daughter Martha. So tell me about your grandkids. How old are your grandkids? And they'd light up. They talk about their grandkids. Oh, when's the last you saw them? What are their names? This is where you get to get them feeling good about you because you care about who they care about. See, people think highly of you because you care about what they care about. So I care about what they care about, man. And who do they care more about than family? So I get to know their family and get to know their names. I want to know the names of the people they love. Now, look, we know their playbook, don't we? They've been told, look out for scams. So you got to really share stuff about you with them and be on their level. You got to share, see, because it's building a bridge with them. They talk about their kids. Oh man, yeah, I have kids too. I've got a 5-year-old and 3-year-old, and they are something else. I'm sure your grandkids are like that. You tell them about you because how can they care about you if they don't know anything about you, right? So it's really good to share personal stuff about you that relates to personal stuff about them. It's building a bridge. Okay. They're on a fixed income, right? So you have to start bringing these things out. Okay. So, almost everyone we help is in the exact same situation. So you're going to hear the fixed income thing all the time. If you hear it once, you can hear it a million times. Well, Sonny, we're on a fixed income. Absolutely. Joe and Mary, nearly everyone we help is on a fixed income. So notice, does that make sense? Do you know that almost everyone we help is on fixed income? So you ask it in a form of question, what you're telling them, there's a lot of presuppositions in that remark that we've helped a lot of people that are also on fixed income. So what we're implying is that we can help you, right? We can help you. Oh, yeah. You know what? I hear that all the time. You know what? Joe and Mary, would it surprise you that most of the people that we take care of are all also on fixed income? Asking a form of question, but you're taking that excuse away. That you're telling them we're gonna help them find something in their budget. The other playbook, they had a policy that ended on them too early, or it increased in price over time, or the decrease in death benefit, and they watch a lot of TV. So these are the 4 bullets you need to go over with them to ensure that you cover these objections. It's all about covering objections in advance. So Joe, here, let me tell you a little bit about this program. So you and I are on the same page and you totally understand, what we're doing here, because the last thing I want is for you to misunderstand anything that I've said about this program that we're going to help you with. Okay. Assumptive, we're going to help you with. Now, number one, it's good until the day you die. It does not end on you when you hit the age 80. I know there's a lot of scam programs out there that'll end too soon that you outlive. This one will go the rest of your life. As long as you make your premium payment, it'll continue. The other thing about this is the rate will never go up. Okay. There are a lot of policies out there that these scam agents will sell that will increase your policy because they get paid more on those. They increase your policy premium over time. This one will stay exactly the same, will never increase as long as you own it. Okay. Does that make sense, Joe and Mary? So always acknowledge with them that they heard you. Okay. Now here's the other thing. The death benefit also stayed the same. There will be no decrease in death benefit. And I'm sure you've heard of those programs out there that the client is mad when their spouse dies, or the wife's mad when the husband dies. They find out that their $25,000 policy is now worth $5,000. She paid the premium for $25,000. Why is it $5,000? And that's what you don't want to learn that. I'll make a guarantee that this policy will never decrease in benefit. Does that make sense? Do you understand? Yeah. Now, I'm sure you've heard of these scams on the radio where they say you can get $100,000 for $10 a month. Have you heard those? Like, I can get you, well, you know what those are? You just kind of like, you know what those are? Laugh. You know what those are? Those are called accidental policies. They only pay in an accident. And the cause of accident at your age is probably number 10 on the list of reasons for death. The number 3 reasons for death of folks your age is that heart attack, stroke, and cancer, the top 3 reasons. Accidental is way down the list. That's why accidental death, they sell a lot of that because chances are you're not going to die in an accident. And so they have these big, bold claims. Then here's the other thing they do is when you call in, they'll tell you, yeah, it's an accident policy, but wait, we can sell you, a whole life policy. And then they're going to sell you a policy that now we're going to talk to you about, but it'll be twice as much as what we will help you with. So that's kind of how they do the bait and switch. Does that make sense? You've heard of those? Yeah. Okay. So you've answered their major issues in their head that it doesn't run out early. They never pay more than what they're paying. Their benefits never decrease. And this is not accidental. It'll cover them. So you handled the major objections that a client has. So let me tell you what happens next, Joe and Mary. My job is to get this into your budget. If you can't afford it, you won't be able to keep it. So when you decide on one of these 3 premium options that I'm going to give you that you feel comfortable with, that you can make the let me make sure I don't think I wrote this right. My job is to get this in your budget. So if you can't afford it, then you're not going to keep it. So that's why it's important for you to decide on the premium option when I lay out the 3 options for you that you totally feel comfortable with, that you can make that payment on, okay? And then you just shut up, let them answer the question, okay? That I'm not trying to, if you can't afford it, this is another way to say that. If you can't afford it, I want you to feel free to tell me. No embarrassment here. I want to make sure that, 6 months from now, 6 days from now, 6 weeks from now, 6 months from now, 6 years from now, that you can still afford that premium payment. Okay. So you be upfront with me. You'll tell me so we can make whatever changes we need. Yes. Okay. So the decision process is, so all we're going to do today is find a program that best fits your needs and budget. Then we're going to fill out the request for coverage form, okay, electronically and send it into the carrier to see if you qualify. So today is not a think about it day today because there's nothing to think about until we know you qualify. See, the insurance company has to think about you first. If they do decide to cover you, then we will get the policy in the mail, and it is at that point that you can think about it. You can think about raising the coverage or decreasing the coverage or leaving it exactly the way you wanted it, whatever you want to do. So you're in total control. Are you good with that? This is where you close the client. Notice I closed them before I even showed them rates. If they're not good with this, I'm walking out of there. I'm not going to show them rates. Rates don't close the client. Commitment closes the client. The commitment to protecting their family closes the client. Their commitment to want to have peace of mind closes the client. It's not the rate that closes the client. The rate justifies their emotional decision to take care of their family. Does that make sense? So anything other than, yeah, that sounds good, we'll do that. Anything other than that, then you're out of there, okay? And you're not going to show them rates. Don't ever show them rates until they've committed to doing the process the way you laid out for them, okay? It's very straightforward. I promise you, you go beyond this thinking that you're going to close because you're going to show them a cheap price, man, they're just going to steal your rates, okay? I'm adamant about that. So let's close it, okay? Let's go through the process that I mentioned. Let's get their health information, okay? Let's find out the quote, okay, that we're looking at based on the health information we filled out. So the health info intake form, okay? Okay, Joe and Mary, give me a few minutes. I'm going to come up with the right company for you. Well, we already know the right company is Great Western because we know we can get them into something, right? And so you're going to go the Great Western, or you go to the underwriting tool, right? The underwriting tool, you put everything in the underwriting tool, you come up with the Great Western options, right? Okay, Joe and Mary, here are the 3 options for you. Okay, so $5,000, okay, Probably take care of a cremation, no problem. $5,000 tax-free to Martha. So Martha will receive a check. So paint the picture, like Martha will get a check for $5,000 to help you with your final expenses, take care of your cremation, right? So you're using Martha's name. You're using Martha receiving the check. They're picturing their mind after they die that Martha gets a check from Great Western Insurance Company for $5,000. That will be $26.21 a month. Okay. Now, if you want to bump it up and maybe let her afford a more of a funeral for you, maybe it's not a cremation, maybe it is a kind of a modestly priced casket for $10,000. Martha will receive a check for $10,000 for a $48.91 a month. Okay. Now, if you want her to have a full-blown party for you, in a nicer casket and so on, for $15,000 a check, Martha will receive a check for $15,000 death benefit. It's $71.62 a month. Okay, so 5,000 is 26.21, 10,000 is 48.91, and 15,000 is $71.62. So which one which one works best for your needs and your budget? This is where you shut up. Zip, zip, zip. And you're smiling, looking at them. Smiling, looking at them. Smiling, looking at them. Do not say another word, man. Do not say another word. Let them close themselves. Well, I didn't realize that this was going to be so affordable, Alex. Music to my ears, right? I think that 15,000, you know what? I was like thinking about $100 a month. What would $100 a month get me? Well, hide your excitement because that's a closing buying signal, right? Okay, I'll show you $100, but I want to make sure you can afford $100. See, the veteran agent move is, well, yeah, I could show you $100, but I just want to make sure, can you afford $100 every month? Like, I'm sure you're on a fixed income, right? But yeah, I am. So, 7162 is fairly affordable for you, isn't it? Well, yeah. But you know what? I can afford $100. Okay, so like Christmas time, buying Christmas gifts for the grandkids. It's summertime, you're visiting the grandkids for a month, you spend time with them, you want to take them out to ice cream, and you see this $100 a month coming out of your account. Can you afford that $100 a month? Well, you know what? Yes. Gang, what you just did is you totally reversed her to sell you on why she can afford it. You're not selling her on why she needs $100 worth of insurance. I'll tell you what, that sticks, man. That closing technique sticks. Okay. So the green agent will go, oh, $100. Oh gosh. Woo! Woo! I'm fired up, man. I want to make $1,000 on the sale. Woo! I'm fired up. That's a green agent would do that. No, man, you're cool handling. It's like, well, yeah, we can do $100. I mean, I can show you that. It's gonna give you more coverage. Just looking at it off the top of my head, $30 more. Maybe it's 20,000. Okay, but $100 a month. That's $30 more than the 71. Are you gonna be okay with that? You're the concerned son talking to his mom. You're the concerned daughter. Okay, you're not the daughter or son, but you're acting like it because you care about that they can afford it, because the last thing you want is a chargeback. Again, it's for the best interest of the client. So turn it around on them. But once they pick it, off to the races, baby. You get into the electronic application and you're like, boom. Okay. And then the last part of this process is getting referrals. Okay, it's the ERS, and we'll show you the ERS program. But right now, we're going to just do the post-sale. Now, the post-sale process locks it down. So when you're done and everything's submitted, okay, well, we're talking about one person here, but Joe and Mary. Okay, Joe and Mary, do you feel comfortable with $100 a month to provide Martha? Okay, Mary, are you comfortable with $100 a month to provide Martha with the money to cover your final expenses? Okay, you lock it down again. Summer vacation or Christmas coming up, you're going to pay a few more bills. You're going to see that $100 being drafted on the 4th of every month out of your account. Are you going to call me because you want to cancel the policy because you can't afford it? Then shut up, man. Shut up. You think that I'm trying to overdo this, gang? Yes, I am. I hate chargebacks, right? And I paint the scenario in their head. Like, you're going to look at your bills and you're going to go, oh my gosh, I'm paying the $100 a month. I'm going to call Alex and cancel. Is that what's going to happen? I shut up. He goes, oh, no, I'm keeping it. So they're closing themselves over. You're not closing them. They're closing themselves over again. Okay, great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let you know when the policy is approved. It could take a week, it could take 2 weeks. Now, honestly, it'll take a day or two. Okay, but I'm going to be the hero. Okay, it might take a week or two to get approved. But I'm going to call you when it gets approved, and then you can expect it to arrive, the policy to come to your house. Now, if you're not approved, I'm going to let you know that too. Well, the Great Western, come on, man, you already know. But I don't want them to think it's a done deal. Now, look, if it's not approved, I'm going to let you know that too, and then I'm going to give you some other options, okay, that we can get you covered. Now, Joe, like Mary, do you have any questions on anything I've said? Okay, then we're telling we're going to call them back. Again, I'm freaky about chargebacks. So this is why I go overboard with it. Okay, so Mary, I know you're going to have questions come up in a couple of days. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call you to find out if you have any questions so I can answer them for you. So put my number in your smartphone address book and put it under I for insurance man. Okay, because you may not remember my name, but you look up insurance man, and then you can put my name in there. Okay, so I'm going to give you a call back a couple of days. And why do you call back in a couple of days, gang? You call them back because you want to find buyers for Morris. So you're going to call Mary back. Hey, Mary, Alex. Hey, Alex, I just wanted you to know I had a good time to sit down with you. I haven't heard back from the carrier yet to see if you've been approved, but I'm just, remember I promised that I was going to call you back. Well, I'm calling you back because I'm good. In your mind, you're establishing with her that you're good for your word, that you're trustworthy because you do what you say you're going to do. So this is another element of the trust bridge that you're creating with your client. Okay. So I'm going to call you. So Mary, Alex, how you doing? Hey, I enjoyed sitting down with you. Listen, I promised you that I would call you to find out if you have any questions. Do you have any questions for me? Anything? And she goes, oh, well, I was just wondering, when does that go into effect? Actually, it's been in effect from when I left your house because you committed to a payment and everything. So, we're good. We're good. So it's really conditionally, it's in effect right now. Oh, okay. That's all I wanted to know. Okay, great. You sure there's nothing else? Any concerns? It was $124 a month or $100 a month. You're good with that? Everything's still good? Yeah, everything's still good. Okay, great. Well, I'll let you know when I find out that it's been approved or declined. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. But here's why you call back. Hey, Mary, Alex. Hey, I want you to know it was a good time sitting down with you. That's, pet your dog. Your dog's cool. So anyway, I promised I'd call you back if you had any questions. Or any questions on your mind? Now, this is the answer you're looking for. You're fishing for this. Well, Alex, I am just, I don't know. I was thinking about $100 a month, and you know what? This other new medication I'm on is going to be another $50 a month more for that. And, I was like, Martha or Mary, say no more. Say no more. I know sometimes after you have some time to think about it, you think about that price. And you know what? I've got some time. My last appointment's at 5 o'clock. Let me swing by maybe 5:30. Okay, 6 o'clock. And let's go over this again. Let's take a look and see what we can do for you. Remember that option that was, the $50 option that I covered that would cover 10,000. I think that might be a better one for you. Why don't I come over and let's kind of explore that? All right. All right, great. Thanks. See, you call them back 2 days later, you have a chance to save it. You call them back 2 weeks later, hey, I want to come over and let's review your policy because you got it already, right? Yeah, I got it, but Alex, I talked to my daughter, we don't need it anymore. Yeah, it's too expensive. Well, I can come over. No, we already actually called the company to cancel. See, you gave them 2 weeks to make that 2-day decision. The cement has dried, but the 2-day decision, the cement's wet, and you have a chance to go back and save it. That's why you do it 2 days later. So number one, you tell them something that you promised, and you come through on your promise to call them back. But then you're looking for buyer's remorse. You only have a chance to save buyer's remorse, at least in my experience in the insurance industry, 2 days later. Does that make sense? So what you did is you taken them through a very simple process, and a very simple process of final expense to take care of the client. Okay. Now, you're going to have to go through this and you're going to have to practice. So this is where you get with your friends, family, brother, sister. Hey, can I come over and practice my presentation on it? Gang, most people tell you to do that so you can make a sale. I'm telling you to do it so you can practice, because it's disingenuous to do that to your family and friends when you secretly desire to make a sale on them. I am not telling you to make a sale. If they want it, yeah, okay, fine. Okay, and I say that sincerely, like, okay, yeah, cover them. But your objective is to do this with them so that you can get practice. Okay, there's got to be some, like, I don't care, do it with your dog. Have your dog sit there and go through this with your dog. But you got to get this out of your mouth so it flows, right? You got to practice this, man. And then when it's game time in front of a client, all the stuff's going to flow out of your head, right? So you actually have this in a paper presentation. You can actually just bring this with you, right? I don't care. We do have an ATM. It's called the Alliance Training Manual that takes you kind of through this process. This is a very simplified version. And, maybe I'll come up with a super simplified chart that you can just flip through, but you don't have to show it to the client. You just, notes for yourself, basically. Okay. But you've taken them through a process of getting them to commit little commitments along the way. See, people want to say, think about it to a big decision. What you did is you made super small decisions along the way for them. So you've taken them through the process of taking care of them. And all they did was make little decisions along the way. So there's nothing to think about. You even told them they couldn't think about it because there's nothing to think about. Okay, does that make sense, gang? Final expense made simple. Any questions? Everyone's quiet. I know you've been sitting there for a while. I've been doing all the talking, obviously. And I know some of you all are new. So, like, I don't expect you to memorize this. I don't expect you, to do this right away if you don't even have your license. But my objective for you, if you're new, is I want you to know that there is a system in place that you can follow that will take your client through. We've got the technology, the quoting tools, the underwriting tools to take the heat off you, right? To do super simple. We can get you right in business, man. Week one, you'll be making $500 your first week. Would that be cool if you just totally follow this process, right? So, if you're studying for your license, focus on your license. Okay, get that done. But this is going to hopefully give you a glimpse on what's to come, and that we've got the system for you to take care of your clients lickety split. All right. Anyone have any questions, any comments, anything? Did I scare anybody? Does this sound too hard for anybody?
No, Alex, that's the refreshing thing was knowing where to go to get, look up quotes and the resources in each company. This way I don't have to bother you. So that's why I wanted to get on this today. It helped me out a lot because I've been in and out. So I don't want to keep bothering you with stuff that I can do by myself,
Yeah. Yeah. Bother me with more important stuff that we can advance you quicker. But, look, I'm here to help, honestly. But at least I've shown you where you can go and get the help. And then, call the carrier. So Sam, call the carrier about that issue. Like I'll challenge you to call Great Western to find out that little gap from activate date to draft date, or are they still covered during that period of time? And then let me know what you find out. Okay.
I will do that. I'll call them Monday.
Okay. Sounds good.
I got to get back with F&G on that retirement plan for Mark. So
okay, cool.
I'll be making some calls Monday.
Awesome. All right, gang. Thank you for being on this. This really helped me out quite a bit because as I discovered, right? That's very cool. So thanks, everybody. God bless you. Take care.
Thanks, Alex.
Bye now.
Take care, Alex. Have a good weekend.